When your horse looks at you, what does he really see? A friend? A leader? Or perhaps the potential threat? For humans, that question sounds strange. After all, we feed them, care for them, protect them. But to a horse, the world looks very different. When he first sees us, tall, forward-facing eyes, shoulders squared, his instinct doesn't say friend. It says predator. Today, we'll explore what your horse truly thinks about you, how his instincts shape the way he perceives you, and how trust can transform that perception completely. You'll see why some horses back away the moment we reach out, and how with patience and empathy, they can one day walk toward us with love and confidence. And later in this video, I'll share the story of a mare who taught me in the most profound way that a horse's heart can heal, and that sometimes all it takes is time and kindness. If you enjoy understanding the psychology, behavior, and emotions of horses, subscribe to Inside Horses. Your support helps this channel grow and inspires me to keep bringing knowledge that deepens the connection between humans and these incredible animals. To understand how a horse perceives you, we need to start with how nature designed him. Horses are prey animals. Their entire physiology, from the placement of their eyes to the sensitivity of their ears, evolved to detect danger and escape it. Humans, on the other hand, are predators by anatomy. We walk upright, our eyes face forward. We move in straight lines. In the animal world, those are the traits of a hunter. So when a horse sees us approach head-on, his instinct doesn't interpret that as friendly curiosity. It reads it as potential danger. That's why so many horses move away when you walk straight toward them. It's not stubbornness or disrespect, it's survival. In the wild, the only animals that approach directly are predators. Horses approach one another in arcs or curves, calm, non-threatening movements that say, "I come in peace." When we learn to adjust our body language, soften our gaze, and move with rhythm instead of rigidity, we begin to communicate in the horse's language, not ours. Science confirms what horsemen have long felt in their hearts. Horses don't just see our bodies, they sense our emotions. Research by the University of Sussex showed that horses can distinguish between human facial expressions, recognizing anger or happiness just by looking at us. Another study found that horses can synchronize their heart rate with ours. When we're calm, their heartbeat slows. When we're anxious, theirs rises too. Their survival depends on reading energy. In a herd, they instantly detect tension or peace in another horse, and they use the same instinct on us. When we approach with confidence and serenity, they interpret that as safety. When we carry fear, impatience, or frustration, they sense danger and act accordingly. So before a horse can see us as a friend or leader, he must first stop seeing us as a threat. And that shift doesn't happen with training, it happens with trust. There's a single moment in every horse-human relationship when the horse's instinct to flee gives way to curiosity, and finally connection. It doesn't happen with ropes or bits or force. It happens the instant the horse decides, this human is safe. It's the most fragile and powerful turning point you'll ever witness. And I experienced that transformation in a way I'll never forget with a mare named Layla. Layla was a dark bay mare, almost black, rescued from the streets in 2012. She had been abandoned in a poor neighborhood, roaming with 4 other horses through traffic and debris, searching for food. When she was rescued, she came to live with me, and from the very first day, I could see the fear in her eyes. She wouldn't let anyone touch her. Even when we managed to get close, a gentle hand on her coat would make her flinch and tremble. Any sudden movement, and she'd leap away in panic. It was clear that she carried invisible scars, not on her body, but in her heart. I knew I couldn't rush her, so I began slowly, not training, not demanding, just being near her. Sometimes I'd sit quietly by the fence while she grazed. Other times I'd enter her space just to brush her gently and then leave. showing her that nothing bad would happen. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. There were moments when it felt like nothing was changing, but deep down, something was. One day, she began to look at me differently. Her eyes softened. Her breathing slowed when I approached, and soon she started to walk toward me, not away. We began short join-up sessions, moments of quiet communication without words, where I invited her to connect. She hesitated at first, but each time she returned a little faster, a little calmer. Finally, the day came when I leaned over her back. She didn't flinch. She didn't resist. She just stood there, calm, confident, ready. When I mounted for the first time, it was so gradual that it felt very natural to her, and she accepted it completely, as if to say, I know you now. I trust you. That moment was not just a milestone. It was a conversation with very few words, but with a lot of body language and positive energy. A story told through silence, patience, and love. Layla taught me that trust isn't earned through control, but through consistency, by proving day after day that you are safe to be with. What happened with Layla wasn't magic, it was biology. When a horse begins to trust, his body literally changes. The stress hormones in his bloodstream, like cortisol, begin to drop. His heart rate stabilizes. His eyes blink more slowly and his breathing deepens. The body relaxes because the mind finally feels safe. Neuroscientists studying horse behavior have found that this process activates the same parts of the brain responsible for attachment and bonding, the same system that connects a mare with her foal. So when a horse accepts you, he's not just tolerating you, he's integrating you into his emotional world. You become part of his herd map, his inner circle of safety. It's an incredible transformation, from seeing you as a predator to recognizing you as protection. Once a horse decides you are safe, his perception of you changes completely. You become part of his rhythm, a familiar energy that brings comfort instead of stress. This is why horses nicker when they see you coming, why they rest their heads on your shoulder or follow you across a pasture. It's not obedience, it's trust. But that bond must be maintained. The same sensitivity that allows a horse to connect deeply also makes him vulnerable to confusion. If one day you are calm and patient and the next you are rushed or angry, he notices. Inconsistency breaks the spell of safety. That's why the best horsemen are not the strongest or fastest. They are the most present. They move with intention, speak less, and listen more. To a horse, that presence feels like peace, and peace is what every prey animal seeks. So, what does your horse really think about you? At first, he sees a predator, a tall, forward-moving figure whose body language speaks of control. But with time, he learns to look beyond the form and feel the essence. He begins to recognize your tone of voice, your scent, your heartbeat. He learns who you are through repetition and emotion, not words. To your horse, you are not just a rider or a trainer. You are either a source of calm or a source of chaos, a part of the herd or something outside of it. And once he decides that you belong, that you are safe, consistent, and kind, he stops seeing you as different from himself. You become his companion, his leader, his peace. Layla's story is just one of many that prove the same truth. Horses don't respond to domination. They respond to emotion. They don't respect titles or strength. They respect presence and authenticity. When your heart, your breath, and your body move with the same quiet confidence, your horse will feel it. And he'll choose you not because he has to, but because he wants to. That is the most beautiful kind of obedience. The one that comes from love, not fear. If this video helped you see your horse differently, subscribe to Inside Horses for more insights into equine psychology, behavior, and communication. And share your experience in the comments. Has your horse ever gone from fear to trust, like Layla? Your story might inspire someone who's walking that same path right now.